And so I'm curious if you have any war stories that kind of go back to those early days, maybe something that worked or something that didn't work.
I mean, that's, I think I can talk about it nowadays. Back then in 2005, 2006, P&G was buying a company called Gillette. I mean, and the brand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And at the same time, P&G bought a company called Vela Professional. So I think worldwide, it was clearly more P&G employees than Gillette and Vela employees. But if you looked in Germany, you had basically 6,000 people from P&G, 6,000 from Gillette Brown, and 6,000 from Vela. So it was quite interesting. And back then, I was not yet in the leading position, but we had some very smart organizational development folks internally, and they developed a training that all leaders and later on all employees had to go through from the acquiring side from P&G, and where they talked about the famous change curve with shock denial, rational understanding, and so on, and talked about the phase shift that this curve has depending on in which position you are. So basically, for some people who hear about the change first, they go through this change curve faster than others. And also that how different people experience the curve based on if they are on the acquiring side or if they are being acquired. Yeah? And so I still remember that a lot of people sitting in these workshops from the Gillette side, and they said, yes, I can still remember 28th of January 2005. We went to the office, we turned on the computer, and we said, oh, we've been sold, and we were under shock, and we were paralyzed, and we couldn't do anything for the whole day. We were just like, what's going to happen to us? And then you had some P&G guys saying, well, but when we acquired the company, we said, oh, cool, another company. Let's look what are the products that they have in the company shops. Cool. From now on, we can have the Gillette Venus cheaper in the company shop. And that's about it. And this workshop was so eye-opening for a lot of people to really see, wow, my emotion is not your emotion. And we cannot assume that simply because it's easy for us, it's easy for other people. And that was, I think, really the game changer for this acquisition. By the way, it hadn't worked so well with Vela yet because Vela was still done in the classical way. Let's merge processes, structure systems, let's put them all together, and then it will work. And in Vela, we could back then see how more and more employees were leaving, how absenteeism, turnover rate, and so were getting bigger. And that's why P&G learned from it and really engaged in this program in organizational change later on. There was also a very streamlined change communication. So we're saying, let's make sure that we really sing all from the same song sheet, all top managers, we talk about it. Let's, for the new position, not automatically take the P&G people, but let's take the best of both worlds, that you have senior leaders from the Gillette side and so on. So there was much more focus on the human side of the whole element, and that really made a big difference. And I think that's why still nowadays you can say that this was a successful acquisition, while for Vela some people might say it was maybe not. So that was one of my very first experiences with this, where you gave people the permission to reflect upon the human side, the emotions, the potential resistance, the fears, and so on.